Hello everyone, today we'll be continuing on with the beginner's guide that was following up yesterday's video. So you can see here I am on another character. Even though she looks very similar, she is a different character. Keep in mind, in this game you are not able to switch classes on the fly. So if you started with a level 1 Blade Master, you will not be able to switch it to a gunner or an archer after it hits max level. So it's very important to pick a class that you like so that when you progress through the story and you get it to max level, that you're happy with the class, or else you will have to re-level another class. So in this video, you can see that I am on my gunner, but on yesterday's video, it was a blade dancer. So just keep that in mind, that when you do pick a class, you pick a class that you actually enjoy and you like to play. So you can see here that on this character, I am a much higher level. I'm level 60 compared to yesterday's level 12, and I am currently Home Moon 17. So Home Moon levels are kind of like prestige levels. It's after you hit the max level, which is level 60 at the moment, you'll still be able to level up. However, you'll be leveling up Home Moon levels. So what Home Moon levels allow you to do is when you press your P key over here, you're able to allocate your points into certain stats. So let's say you want more offensive stats, maybe you want more defensive stats, maybe you want some threat, some HP regen, movement speed, debuff defense, or Home Moon focus. So you can allocate your points over here. If you are still progressing in the story, I highly recommend putting points in movement speed so that you can move faster through the story. And another is maybe put 20 points in offense and 20 points in defense. Start at this because this is more balanced, and that way you have a good share of the defense bonus and the offense bonus. As you can see here, when you click on the bonus effects, when you have 10 points in offense, you get 60 extra attack power as well as 60 extra mystic. And when you have 20 points, you get an additional 40 attack power and an additional 50 mystic damage. So by having 20 points in offense, you effectively get 100 more AP, or your attack power, which is a very big boost and will definitely help you out in progressing through the story. However, if you're having difficulty staying alive, maybe prioritize 20 points in defense, as it will give you 35,000 more HP as well as a lot of defense. So that is Home Moon points, which you gain by just leveling up after you hit max level. So once you hit max level, or level 60, you'll notice that you'll have a new tab on the right side of your screen. You'll have a daily challenge tab over here, as well as a weekly challenge tab over here. So you can cycle through today's daily challenge, tomorrow's daily challenge, and the weekly challenge. And these are very important. I highly recommend people to do the daily challenge, as it will give a lot of materials and a lot of resources that you will need. However, before you do this, you need to complete the story. The reason why I say this is because if you do not complete the story and you immediately jump in here once you hit level 60, you will not be able to do a lot of these dungeons, simply because you are not strong enough yet. So I highly recommend you to finish the yellow quests, as it will give you a lot of gear. So as you progress through the yellow quests over here, as you can see, I'm on Act 10 Chapter 1. You're going to notice in the quest letter tabs that you have a lot of different color quests now. You have a red colored one, a blue colored one, and you scroll down, you've got orange colored ones and purple colored ones. So I recommend you to ignore all of the blue ones and all of the red ones. The red ones are PvP oriented, the blue ones are side quest oriented. As for the purple one, you still want to prioritize that because it increases your stamina, which allows you to run for longer, as well as speed up the process of completing the story. However, there will be times, such as this quest that I have right now, which it requires a Chi Flux Stone. So these are certain items which you can only get by crafting. As you can see over here, you need to be in the Soul Wardens in order to craft the Chi Flux Stone, which you'll be able to exchange to complete this quest. However, since I am not in the Soul Wardens and I do not have crafting, I'm unable to get this item unless I buy it off F5. So you can press F5 to open up the marketplace, and once the marketplace is opened over here, you can search right here, the Chi Flux Stone. You see right here, Chi Flux Stone, you click on it, and right here you can buy the Chi Flux Stone from other players if you want. However, as you can see, it is rather expensive. It's 68 gold. I currently have 500 gold and I don't really want to buy it. So if you are in the same situation as me, maybe you have a far less gold than me, or you don't even have 65 gold or 68 gold, then just don't buy it. Just skip the quest for now. However, I do recommend having at least 30,000 stamina. Having 30,000 stamina would be my bare minimum amount of stamina that you should be aiming for. So now we're going to be talking about these orange quests. These orange quests are very important to always accept the orange quests whenever they pop up in your quest letters. The main reason is again for the rewards. As you can see here, Temple of Succession Chapter 1 Blood in the Air. If I was to complete this quest, I will be rewarded a Riftwalk weapon or a Dawnforge weapon. If we press I to check our inventory and we check our weapons, you'll see right here that the Riftwalk weapon as well as the Dawnforge weapon is the first weapon that you're ever going to get in the game that you're able to upgrade. So you want to get your Dawnforge weapon or your Riftwalk weapon ASAP because you will be able to start upgrading and start investing materials into your weapon to make it stronger. Before you get this quest, you will be getting a lot of weapons just on the fly from monster drop, from quest rewards. However, they won't be upgradable. They're basically just throwaway weapons that you're just going to be using for now to just use to progress through the story faster, just to deal damage. However, when you get your Dawnforge or your Riftwalk weapon, this is the first weapon that you're going to be getting that you can start investing materials into upgrading this weapon to making it an endgame weapon. So make sure that once you see this Temple of Succession Chapter 1 Blood in the Air, once you see this quest, immediately read the letter and you're going to select next, and you're going to accept the mission. So once you accept the mission, it'll pop up right here and you'll see that it is Chapter 1. So keep in mind these orange missions, there will be a certain point where you will not be able to progress because you'll go into this dungeon and you'll find out that everything just one-shots you and there's no way you can even kill the mobs. And that is because they are raids. So these orange missions unlock raids in the game. So raids are 12-man dungeons where you form a team and you progress through the raid, and it usually requires quite a lot of coordination as well as communication in order to complete it. A large majority of these raids will not be puggable. You will not be able to just find people in faction chat and just go through and just raw DPS. However, you will be able to complete these orange missions and redeem these rewards until a certain extent. So you can see here for the Fate of the Aransu, you will be able to get up to Chapter 5. You'll see here, it'll tell you to find Zulia in the Temple of Eluvian. So when I press M, you'll see Temple of Eluvian is right here. You'll notice it's a raid because the text is orange, and it also says right under it, it requires 12 players to do it. So Temple of Eluvian is one of the middle ground raids that we have right now. It isn't too difficult, it isn't too easy. It does require some damage and requires a little bit of mechanics. A lot of these mechanics can be negated as long as you have enough damage. However, since we are still progressing through the story, we do not have enough damage to complete this. So we will not be able to complete Chapter 5 Reunions and Regrets until we get stronger. Another example is over here, the Emperor's Tomb, Chapter 6, Rage and Ruin. We will not be able to complete this quest because it requires us to enter Nightfall Sanctuary. So you can see over here, Nightfall Sanctuary is located right here, Emperor's Tomb. So Nightfall Sanctuary, again, it's an orange text, it requires 12 players, and it is a raid. So at the current time of this recording, there are several raids in the game. In order to find what the raids are, you can press Ctrl J, and after pressing Ctrl J, you'll notice over here that they'll show you all of the different raids. So there's Scarlet Conservatory, which is currently the most endgame raid that we have. Then there's Nightfall Sanctuary, then we have Temple of Eluvian, and then we have Skybreak Spire. These are the 4 raids that we have. However, you're going to notice that we have other orange raids here. We've got Throne of Oblivion, we've got Botany Center, we've got Titan Chamber, we've got Hall of the Templar, Hall of the Keeper, and these are weeklies. So what is the main difference between a weekly and a raid? Weeklies are much easier. They're a super simplified version of the raids. So you do not need to do much mechanics, their HPs are significantly reduced, and you don't need to know much about the dungeon as long as you can just hit the boss until they die. That is the majority of the mechanics for these weeklies. However, there is another way to tell if it is a raid or a weekly simply by clicking on the Weekly Challenge tab. So once you click on the Weekly Challenge tab, you're going to see over here that it requires you to do Fallen Aransu School, Jadestone Fortress, as well as Hall of the Keeper, Hall of the Templar, Titan Chamber, and Botany Center. So these are weeklies. Weeklies are much easier to do and do not require as much damage in order to complete them. If you are still progressing through the story, or if you just finished the story, I recommend skipping Titan Chamber and Botany Center as these are more difficult weeklies, and mainly focus on these. Focus on Hall of the Templar, Hall of the Keeper, Fallen Aransu School, as well as Snow Jade Fortress. By doing those 4, you will be able to redeem these items over here. So there is the weekly challenge reward chest, which gives you useful materials such as raven feathers or hive queen wings or grand celestial wings, so that you can purchase the soul shields for your class. And on top of that, you also get the weekly challenge treasure chest, which gives you a lot of materials which will be used for upgrading your weapon as well as your gear. So that will be another focus that you want to make sure you do every single week. So while you're progressing through the orange side stories over here, as well as progressing through the yellow missions or the main story, once you complete all of that, then the next thing you're going to be focusing on will be upgrading your gear. Your gear is a long-term investment, so do keep in mind that it will take weeks to months in order to start upgrading your gear. This game is very unforgiving, and this game requires you to grind and spend a lot of time in order to make any progression. However, if you are very impatient, do be prepared to spend money, as this game does have many options for cash users to progress very quickly. However, if you are staying 100% free to play, it will require some time. You will not be able to progress and upgrade your gear very quickly in a short amount of time unless you are willing to put in an ungodly amount of hours grinding and playing the game. However, I will be leaving all of those topics for tomorrow's video, where I will be talking about what to do after you've completed the story, which will be after you completed all the yellow missions as well as all the orange missions until you get stuck, such as chapter 6 for the Emperor's Tomb, as well as chapter 5 for the fate of the Aransu. But yeah, that's really all I wanted to talk about in today's video. Hopefully it was useful. If it was, I would appreciate a subscribe, or if you want to go that extra mile, please consider becoming a member. Speaking about members, I'd like to thank Kevin, Zilintex, Overgamers, Yatogami, Arisoya, Gonzola, Jeremy Chen, Nyana, Pearl Style, Linoren, Toots McGee, Solar Hero, ST Sintu, and Key for becoming members and supporting the channel. And as always, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.
What can I say except you're welcome for the heals, the boosts, the